right, everybody, welcome back. Today, let me turn down the music. I ain't gonna do all that. Turn down the music on my end. You'll still hear it the same volume. We're back again with another important video. I was watching my own videos. I watch my own videos for reference to make sure I'm on track. And we're gonna get straight into it because it's pretty straightforward. Everything I've been talking about over the past since November, over a year now, has played out. This was from, let's see, what date was this exactly? 11, so January 20th. We're almost there, back to a year ago, 2023. Price was at 21K, but I've been making videos on this since October 2022. Right around the 15,600, estimating where we were going to go. But it's November that I started drawing this out. This January video is when I really put it all together. Weeks of analysis and weeks of analysis of the bump and run reversal bottom pattern. Okay, it's all there. The video is called "Nobody is Talking About This: Bitcoin Bump and Run Reversal Pattern in Play." We pretty much did everything that I had mentioned in the past, and so I'm here to show everybody where we're at, and even in my own, for a few of my own accounts that I have open. I have multiple accounts open for different time periods, different phrases, different speeds of the market. Even my long-term accounts, I didn't stay faithful to a few of them, and I should have. And this is just a reminder that to stick with the plan. The plan has always been the same. We're going to go out to the weekly just to show you. I still have everything marked out there. And you compare it to the other video, the old video, switch screens, and that's what we're looking at. Even the time frame is pretty much pretty accurate. I was saying sometime around January or so, we'd start to see some price fizzling out. And now we have a definitive idea of what's going to happen over the next few months. As far as what's happening with the Bitcoin ETF, and an idea of when we're going to pull back and then go into the Bitcoin halving. So the idea is, right now at least, so we broke past the bump phase at 38K. All right, right around here we had some slight accumulation for a few weeks, and then we broke out convincingly over the next few weeks to 44K. Let's bring it back to the daily. Okay, accumulation for a few weeks, broke out convincingly to the 44K, and now we're accumulating in an ascending triangle or a symmetrical triangle, however you want to see it. Okay, now we're sitting at 42. But ultimately we're going to go back to the schematic. We're in the uphill run right now since we broke out of the bump phase at 38K. We're in the uphill run phase, and the uphill run phase ends at the I call it the final bull target. It's the final target for the current phase that we're in now. And we had this lead-in phase. We had the lead-in phase line, and we had the old market trend line also giving us from the last bull run, giving us a level that we can stay consistent to. So we're looking at we're still looking at somewhere between 48K and 52K, and let's add a little bit. Let's add the golden pocket zone into here, and we'll even color it nicely. I mean, golden pocket is somewhere between 65% and 70%. You'll get some wicking action going into there either way, whether you're going up or whether you're going down. Okay, so we're going to go back in, and we're going to mark this off as we're going to color it gold. All right, to separate it from everything else. So if you want to just be instead of saying, oh, we're going to go somewhere between 618 and 786, usually the golden pocket zone is about right. And if my markings are right from the bottom at 15,600 or so, and the top of the market for the Coinbase chart at least, we're looking at 69,000. I mean, the market went somewhere between 69,000 and 69,400. So we're going to just estimate that we're going to go somewhere around 50K. And that's right in between my final bull target for the pre-halving. Okay, I don't need to yell about this. I don't need to scream from the top of the mountain. This body of work proves itself. I've been calling this out using the bump and run pattern for the past year, and I've made my successes in this as well, whether it's just Bitcoin or altcoins running with it. And it works. And so what's going to come next? So after we get so we're either getting, there's two possibilities going on here. We're gonna get a big dump back down to somewhere between, let's mark it out while we're here. We'll get a big dump down to somewhere between typically, let's see, that's 70%. We can get a dump somewhere between, for now, I'm going to say between 35K and 31K. I mean, there's a possibility we even go down to, we can even pull all this back and go down to 28K. Okay, we have to keep that open as a zone of possibility. So what do you do in this instant? So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be starting a short from 48K, and from 48K I'm going to have my futures perpetuals long is going to have a liquidation price that's very high, maybe 70K at the highest. And then as we go down, the target's going to be, I'm going to start off letting my short somewhere between 35K and 28K. I think the market's going to be a sharp return. I think it's going to be a sharp return, whether we come from 50K down to somewhere in this zone, and then we're going to have the halving coming up. And I think I would like to say a month leading into the halving, we're going to start to trend back up. All right, and then early April, we should see somewhat of a return. But the halving, we should see a return back to where we were, somewhere near 50K. I think there's going to be a lot of accumulation going on between 30K and 50K, getting us ready for the final dip in the market. So I think we're ultimately, as you see in the pink lines, we're gonna have a breakdown from the top of the market once the ETF is approved in January, and a lot of information coming from BlackRock and SEC is showing that we should have an approval sometime in January, or we run up into January off of the final speculation phase. We get another delay, but we get our final little move up into 48K or so, and then we get they say, oh no, we're gonna wait until March, the final, which is the final deadline for all the 12 applicants ETF Bitcoin ETF applications. We get a move down in somewhat of a disappointment, and then we have somewhat of a cluster of bullish news going into the end of March and the whole month of April. But I think there's going to be volatility between the month of March and April. But ultimately, the goal is to hold. If you have anything within the 30s, you hold it until the Bitcoin halving happens in first week of April. Okay, so that's the plan there. Throw back to 30K post halving, and then from there we're going to slowly grind up. We're going to slowly make our way back up to new all-time highs. Well, that's not here. Let me try and make it more accurate. We're going to make our way slowly back up into new all-time highs, going into I would say sometime between September and October. All right. And then the market's going to continue to do something like that. Okay, so that's my plan for the Bitcoin market. And currently, we're going to look at currently where we're at now in the ascending triangle. Okay, we called this in my group. We're back at 48K, 42K. I called 41,250 in my group. I played it a little bit safer. Coinbase for some reason has a higher premium. I mostly play on BingX as a referral code for BingX. No KYC yet, but you do have to use VPN. I had my entry at 41,350, and if you're going off Coinbase's, I pretty much nailed it. There were some other really good market cipher traders that called it as well. So what we're anticipating here is a move back up. And this is for scalpers. This is for scalpers mainly. If you want to accumulate more Bitcoin down here, it's probably a good idea. But ultimately, we're going to copy. If you see the little orange box and red box we have here, we're pretty much copying that move. And I love fractals, and we're basically going off of this fractal. We had this red move. Let me fix this. We had this red move down, very similar to what happened over. Very similar to what happened here. Accumulated a bit, higher low, broke out, hit resistance somewhere around here. Stair step back down. We hit this area of support again on the wick on the dot. And then we snaked our way back up, and I believe we are right here again. So I believe we do come back to the high again, and this is Bitcoin. If you've been watching enough of my videos, then you know what's coming next. We have to do the counts. This is going to be the one count. It takes 4 counts for Bitcoin to finally make a move, right? If you've paid enough attention to Bitcoin over the years, you know that's how it rolls. That's 2. Do we call this 3? We'll have to adjust this in the future if that's not considered number 3. And then we're anticipating number 4 happens somewhere over here. Oops. We anticipate number 4 happens somewhere over here. Okay. So that's what we plan on happening. Worst case scenario, we can have something like this happen where we come down. So I have this little golden pocket area for this little zone. Actually, let's move this down a little bit just for the sake of, yeah, we'll keep it there. We have the golden pocket zone at 40,275 as a move down, as a deviation under the current zone. We have to come to expect a deviation, and then we can come back up here into our 4th touch. And then that's when we make our run to somewhere between 48,000 and 52,000. All right, so that's the plan there.